Hey everyone, we're headed out to Marysville, California to check out the Bok Kai parade today. First, gotta get things ready, gotta prepare some breakfast. All right guys, we just finished these air-fried oyster mushrooms. Look at that, those look nice and crispy, almost like potato chips. All right, some more real quick San Francisco nonsense. Last night we were sitting in our room and all of a sudden I hear all this glass being smashed. Look out my window and some guy's like literally grabbing the bottles out of this box and just throwing them all over the ground. 2 nights in a row actually. Someone else did it just down the street. I think they took the same bottles that were in that box and just smashed them over there as well. All right, anyway, enough of that. Let's get going. Unlike many Chinese festivals celebrated both in and out of China, Bok Kai Festival seems to be something quite unique to the city of Marysville, California. In the 1850s, thousands of Chinese left China and came to California in search of gold. These Chinese immigrants built many Chinatowns across Northern California. Marysville is one of the oldest. The Feather and Yuba rivers made the growth of Marysville possible. However, the two rivers were also a major obstacle to growth. Hydraulic mining caused sediment to be deposited in the banks of the Yuba River, causing the riverbed to rise up 100 feet. This caused severe flooding in Marysville. To combat the flooding, a levee system was built around Marysville to keep the floodwaters out. In 1955, the town was completely surrounded by water. A newspaper reporter near the Levee Commission office overheard an encounter between two men, one in a hurry to head for City Hall and the other an elderly Chinese man who didn't seem to be in a hurry at all. "You'd better find a high spot," the one in haste said to the elderly man. "The levee is going to give out in a matter of minutes." "Not so," the elderly Chinese man said, "not with Bok Kai here." It is said that within minutes of the levee's last remaining strength, the water suddenly receded quickly. Bok Kai, or as known in Mandarin as Bei Di, is the water god and has powers to oversee irrigational waterways and rain. He is seen as a preventer of floods and fire. 4,000 years ago, during the Xia dynasty, Bok Kai was a human and was promoted to god status because of his good deeds. Bok Kai is credited with controlling water by introducing flood controlling measures through the construction of drainage, ditches, and levees. The festival, which is always held on the weekend closest to the second day of the second month of the lunar calendar, is held in honor of Bok Kai. The Bok Kai parade may as well be one of the oldest continually held parades in California. The parade dates back to at least 1880 and may have even been held in the 1850s. The Bok Kai parade featured a dragon dance with a dragon imported from China. The first dragon cost more than $5,000 in the 19th century and was the longest and finest parade dragon in the US. Wow. It feels really good to get out of San Francisco, honestly. It was pretty rough. Up here in Nevada City, I think that's what it's called. It's pretty nice. It smells very smoky. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about the Bok Kai parade. You know, originally, this was a Chinese celebrated holiday. But now you have a lot of the local community of Marysville coming together and continuing on this tradition. You know, while there are still like a lot of original elements preserved from the original festival, there's a whole new aspect to it of like a lot of different organizations in the community that have come and participated in this event. The current population of Marysville is not, mostly not Chinese. After gold ran out, a lot of the Chinese that were living in these small rural towns ended up moving towards the cities to find better work opportunities. So anyway, after the parade, we drove up to Oresville and visited a local and old Chinese temple and a laundromat and I guess some like club or something that was next to the laundromat. So last thing we did in Oresville before coming up here to Nevada City, we went to what they say is the oldest Chinese restaurant in Northern California. So I don't know how the cuisine was like originally when the restaurant first opened, but now very Americanized. It was good, but you know, it's like your typical Panda Express type of meal. This honestly was my first restaurant I had gone out to eat at since the pandemic started. What I felt like was a big risk here, but you know, I kind of thought, you know, so many people have been eating out. Most people are fine. Should be okay. The next day, we drove back to Marysville to catch the final event of the festival, the firing of the bombs. The bombs contain good fortune rings, which are shot into the air upon exploding. This was something I had neither seen nor heard of before. In the past, the firing of the bombs was a common practice for certain Chinese celebrations. The practice was also common in many early Chinatowns in Northern California. However, Marysville is currently the only place in the United States where the firing of the bombs is still performed. All right, well, that concludes the Bok Kai festival. Here we have Jack's off to another adventure. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll put it in here somewhere. So help me out, click the likes and subscribe button, and then we'll see you in the next one. And yeah, thanks. I don't know what I'm saying.